The Spanish announce table.
347 episodes deep of the Spanish announce table. And Tom, this might be the biggest week/weekend, week and a half of pro wrestling that we've experienced.
Oh, yeah.
As a general whole, since the start of this show, 8+ years ago now. Man, oh man, what a week.
Definitely. We've had some upticks with, back in the day, NWL, Metro Pro. We've talked about some Journey Pro, but this was our first time experiencing Glory Pro in St. Louis. We, again, as longtime listeners will know, or you've listened to the last couple episodes, we sponsored a match at Glory Pro. It was Stallion Rogers versus Ricky Shane Page, which, what a hard-hitting affair. This was a knockdown, drag-out fight. Ricky Shane Page not going necessarily the deathmatch route, but obviously still being physical. Stallion Rogers with headbutts that just make you cringe, but obviously are very effective. These two just behemoths got into the ring and went at it. We got to see Stallion Rogers pick up the victory in our first ever sponsored Glory Pro Wrestling match, so we are very excited to see that. Then on top of that, we got to see Eddie Kingston taking on Paco. We saw Davey Richards. We got to meet Eddie Kingston. Tim, as you just alluded to, look at that signed photo. So that was amazing. But before I give into my hot take here or my recap, what did you think about going to Glory Pro?
We've been to Metro Pro. Metro Pro was awesome. So was, the NWL shows. We had a good time there, and Journey Pros and all of these things. Glory
Amazing.
Pro goes hard. Man, they go hard. That was an event, man. They had names. They had great wrestling from even the people that maybe you didn't know walking in the door if it was your first time, like some of us. It was great. And then they hooked you to come back, and they're still hooking you. You know what I mean? Even post-event, Tom? It's great.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. Eddie Kingston, he did pick up the victory over Paco, but then he even called out in the ring. He wasn't even done sweating, and he picked up the microphone and he called out Davey Richards. So we have that to look forward to in a Glory Pro wrestling ring coming to you soon. But it was announced today on their social media at We Are Glory Pro, Davey Richards, October 3rd in St. Louis for Glory Pro, will be taking on the legend Minoru Suzuki in St. Louis.
Which is amazing. And we didn't even mention that on site there we saw Allie Katch wrestle.
My goodness.
And we got a picture with Warhorse.
Warhorse kicks all the ass. I will say this until I'm red in the face. That is the love child of the Road Warriors and Surfer Sting. In person, he was everything and more. He was awesome.
We even got to see in person the opponents of Alpha Omega, friends of the show, when we interviewed them about the Black Wrestlers Matter show, the first one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Taking on the tag team Technical Difficulties, which we took a liking to that name because that's our secondary name of this podcast is Technical Difficulties.
Indeed it is.
That was really fun to watch.
It was so much fun. And then, as I mentioned kind of in a drive-by here, but we'll go into a little bit more, we met Eddie Kingston. How great was Eddie Kingston?
Eddie Kingston was super cool. Just felt like every dude you've ever met, right? Like, that guy was a cool dude, Eddie Kingston.
So the fun story there is, as he's signing my autograph here, which maybe I can find that here in just a moment. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my Dr. Britt Baker. Sorry, I forgot I got that. And then I'm sorry. This is when I met Dr. Britt Baker.
Yep.
Sorry. Let me get this. This is
Did you meet Dr. Britt Baker?
I'm sorry. This is my signed Warhorse photo. Okay, here it is. Eddie Kingston. Can you believe that I did all of this since the last episode, by the way? And I met 50 Cent last night. Life is fun.
Hey, now that you said 50 Cent, shout out to the chat. You can join in on the chat at TheoP75. Is it Theop75 says?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said yeah, like Little John maybe? Yeah. I wanted to ask T-Mac if he asked 50 Cent, when is his next game coming out? Did you ask him?
I did not ask him that. No. So I'll cover that in a second. Let's get into. Yeah. So let's talk about Eddie Kingston first, and then I'll tell you my quick little 50 Cent story.
Eddie.
So I got my autograph from Eddie Kingston, and as he's signing the autograph and I'm getting my picture with him, which thank you, Tim, for taking that photo, I said, hey man, thank you so much for giving my friend some good matches early on in his career. And he's like, well, who's your friend? I was like, Sharkbait. And he's like, oh, tell him to text me. Tell him to text me. Next time I'm in town, I'll come to his gym. Because Sharkbait could not come to the gym because he is opening up his own gym.
You said it a lot more subdued than he did. He said, like, you text me. It was like, you
yeah,
had
yeah.
a choice, Tom. He was like, you tell me
Well,
to text
and
me.
so what I did is I one-upped him. I said, okay, you want to go with that? After he got through and kind of went into a little bit of a pause in his autograph session and photo session with the meet and greet, I walked up to him. I FaceTimed Sharkbait and I said, hey, Eddie. And I just showed him the phone and they're FaceTime. The three of us were just hanging out. It's Sharkbait, Eddie Kingston, and me. Just, hey, what's up? Yeah, I was the cameraman, but I got in there a couple of times. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I think, and also credit Eddie Kingston. It cannot be said enough when pro wrestler fans, anyone shares our content. We are grateful to each and every one of you who likes any of our tweets, likes our Facebook, likes our Instagram, any of that stuff. But also if you share that, it warms our heart. And Eddie Kingston, of all people, retweeted us, put a video that I made. Yeah. Put a video that I made into his Instagram story, or excuse me, post. So credit to Eddie Kingston for being, like you just said, one of the most solid dudes we've ever met in pro wrestling. Great guy. Cannot believe how awesome he is.
And when you're done watching this podcast, for those of you watching it live, all 75,000 of you, I believe, when you're done, go check out some of the videos if you haven't seen it yet. We've got a crazy, passionate speech about the indies and wrestling fans that Eddie Kingston gives at Glory Pro.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. So yes, Theo, to answer about 50 Cent though, real quick side story here before we get into the money portion of Spanish Announce Table.
You talk about 50 Cent.
I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's a hand in glove kind of fit. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Got to meet 50 Cent at a grocery store in 2021, which is just hilarious. It was pretty quick.
Store. Like that's the only.
Oh, it was a high V.
Yeah, that's the only.
Yeah, it's a high V.
It's not like a Brahms where you also get, which it wouldn't be better maybe, but
no,
50 cents, it's better at a high V than a Brahms. So I'll give him that.
So we go through the line, and I've always told people this: when you go to meet these celebrities, some of the best moments isn't even meeting the celebrities, it's waiting in the line. And I know you're like, waiting in the line, how is that fun? Well, because everyone's eager to meet the person, so then they're sharing stories. They're saying, like, for example, in the 50 Cent line, there were people rapping some of their 50s verses out loud. It was like what meant a lot to them. There was some love connections where guys were introducing themselves to girls. It was the fun time just waiting in line. But then we get to meet 50 Cent. First off, credit to him for treating COVID seriously. You have to spray down your hands. You do get to take off your mask to meet him, which with Eddie Kingston, he kept his mask on, which credit to him. Again, do not care either way. But you spray down your hands, you hand your phone to someone, they spray down your phone. And then I got lucky because I caught 50 Cent kind of in a, hey, let me take a second. So I got in there and he's like, 1 second. And so he gets a drink of water and he's like, what's up, man? And so like, I had this like prolonged interaction while he was like,
right.
While he was like, okay, all right, cool. And then Tim,
Like,
I'm
let me shake
the
the
biggest
Missouri
idiot.
off me a little bit real quick.
Well,
let me get that
I'm the biggest idiot in the world because I don't know what to do here.
You said it.
So it's COVID, right? And so I go in for a fist bump thinking like, we don't want to shake hands because it's COVID, right?
Right.
So I go for a fist bump and then he goes for the like handshake. And so he ends up like hugging my hand and I was like, fuck. And then I was like, hey man. And so I instantly unlet my hand and then we did the thing. He's like, okay, cool. And I was like, hey, appreciate you coming out. He's like, thank you so much. And then they took the picture. And I was like, hey, thank you again. He's like, yeah, man, great to be here. And I was like, all right, have a good one. And then I left. So I didn't get a chance to ask him any questions, but talked to him. It was nice. Spent probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes with him. So there you go.
Nice.
50 Cent. Also, while I keep bragging, as I show you here on the live stream, I got to meet Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, at Planet Comic Con. What a cool person.
Glad to see
She
you weren't
has the
costume
vibe.
either.
Now, I wish I kind of was, though, because pro wrestling fans are not represented at Planet Comic Con. Look,
Showed up as Rebel.
well, so here you go. Wrestling fans, if we're going to have wrestlers at Comic-Con, we need to do our part to make them feel comfortable. Because you got the Green Arrow, you got the the Star Wars, you got there's other shows. I don't know all the shows, but you got all these things, right? And they're all dressing up like Han Solo and Yoda and all this other bullshit. No pro wrestlers though. No pro wrestlers. So we got to do a better job. Anyhow,
what would you have done? What would you have dressed?
Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
sure.
Showed off the tit. Yeah, right there. Andre the Giant singlet. That's what I'm going as. 100%.
Yeah, I gotta write that one down.
I mean, that's what you do. Yeah. So got to meet Dr. Britt Baker. Very similar situation in the sense that you gotta go in, you get to meet her, you get the photo. But what I got, again, very fortunate, and I know that, so I'm not taking any of this for granted. But then I got to do an autograph session with her. And then that's when she's like, who do you want me to make this out to? I was like, Thomas. And she's like, cool. And then I got to ask her because it was the Saturday, the day after the CM Punk debut. And I said to her, I go, hey, I have to know. And this is while she signed it. She's like, she's signing this stuff. And I go, after 7+ years, the first name he says is yours. Like, did you know that? And she's like, no, I was fangirling like I was back in high school and college.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, she was like, I was fangirling just like everyone else. I was so shocked. I was so humbled. It was so great. And I was like, yeah, I bet. She's like, I can't wait for the future. I was like, I can't wait for the future. And then she signed it. I was like, thanks again so much. And then, I got it right this time. Fist bump. Then we're out. So what a great week. Eddie Kingston, Dr. Britt Baker, 50 Cent, but it was all crescendoed. The pinnacle was the Glory Pro Wrestling event. If you're in the St. Louis area, definitely check it out. October 3rd is their next event.
And not to even mention what you mentioned, right? So we had Glory Pro, you had Comic-Con, you met 50 Cent. There was also Rampage with CM Punk debuting, which we're going to get into. There was AEW Dynamite with CM Punk on it. Right? Go figure. And then there was SummerSlam. There was NXT TakeOver 36. Whole shit ton of wrestling to talk about. But you know what? We discussed CM Punk return to pro wrestling after 7 years. And as he stated on his second time out, he said he's retiring the moniker, the voice of the Voiceless.
And that is great. However, before we get to this next segment, we gotta inform the people that we're going to the moon. That's so obviously we sponsored we sponsored a Glory Pro wrestling match. We're obviously going to do it again, and to give you proof of that, Tim, let's get the MJF coin update of the week.
A lot of people follow us for financial advice against our better advice. But hey, listen, you know what I mean?
Charge it all.
Tom put every single thing he had on MJF coin. MJF came out several weeks back, now a couple months maybe, and said, I'm starting my own cryptocurrency because I'm better than you. And you know it. And
I can't even buy beer. Look at this. I'm drinking water.
Right.
All of it's in MJF.
Now, MJF coin, we put all our money in it. Shut up. Shut back down a little bit. Tom had some bitter times, but I'm good.
Okay.
And last week it was on the rise, and Tom, I'm happy to announce again this week it is on the rise again. We're up 7% this week. We're down 78% overall, but that's a 2% gain over the last couple weeks on that even. So, like, even that's positive, Tom. Even that
I tell you what.
Up.
Yeah, we focus on the here and now. We don't let the details get in the way of a good story. We're on the way to the moon.
Cameron Grimes, baby.
I tell you what. And again, as we mentioned, we sponsored a Glory Pro match. We are definitely going to be doing that again because as the MJF coin goes up, so do we. And we are going to get our name out there.
Call us to borrow money.
I tell you what, it's going to be so great. But as you had mentioned, on Dynamite, CM Punk retired the name Voice of the Voiceless. And so, Tim, I would like for you to continue your statement about his comments.
Well, I'm glad he did retire that because that was going to be something I talked about on the show about his return, which is not what we're here to talk about at the exact moment because he went ahead and self-retired the term Voice of the Voiceless because he says, you got a voice. But you don't always. You don't always in the podcast realm. And we are now your true, rightful voice of the voiceless because we give voice to you, the fans. And we do that by using #TweetTheTable. Very simple, fun, interactive part of this show where you get to tell us what to talk about. This is your show now, right?
Yes, it is.
We want to hear what you got to say first, because then we'll gas bag, then we'll tell you what's going on, right? But let's hear what you have to say first. And we go like we always do. Like we always kick them off.
Always kick them off.
At WIR Cata, he says, I'd love if the hashtag AEW All Out crowd in Chicago were also massive pro Darby fans. Just a match between two similar guys who respect each other. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. And I tell you what, that works here because of this CM Punk return. But I think that's the only reason this works. I don't want that. If that makes any sense. It works sometimes in certain things, but not two guys who've like never wrestled each other before, maybe, or like haven't had like storied careers and barely missed each other. Those kind of things. Like, it's rare that the like just two guys who respect each other and everybody's like, good show, good sir. I'm not interested. I want to fight. I want somebody to be pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I obviously the best stories are those with a rivalry, and typically when two people like each other, it's a good match, but then not much follows up. And as longtime listeners will know, we care about the stories more than we care about the singular match itself. Now, I will say, I did like how CM Punk on his second appearance did say, hey, I need to prove that I'm the best in the world, that I can still go. And I need to prove that with who I think right now is the best in the world. So it makes sense that these two right now would be friendly. However, the person we're not hearing from in this whole situation is Darby Allin. Now, again, he made the call out, what was it, 4 or 5 weeks ago, saying, hey, if you think you're the best in the world, you prove it here. And then CM Punk in his first interaction looks up into the rafters and there's Darby and there's Sting. But now I need to hear from Darby. Okay, the biggest person in pro wrestling is calling you out. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, so here's my problem. I think they try to do two storylines at once. CM Punk could not come back and not do a shoot promo the first time he came back. It'd been so long. It was so public. It was so dragged through the mud. But then they also did, Darby Allin calls out the best in the world. Well, the best in the world hears the bat call, and he rides into town. You can't do both of them. Either CM Punk is pissed that you get your fucking name out of my mouth, or, oh my God, I would never return if I didn't feel like it was pro wrestling again, even though there had been pro wrestling. But, you know what I mean? Like, so that's my problem with that portion of it. But again, like, maybe it's just because I'm not like a yay Darby guy, right? This is going to be fun. This is going to be good. CM Punk's not going to put on a poor performance his first time out the gate, is he? Like,
no, but I think as we get closer to September 5th, I would like to see some tension and some ego, right? Because that's the other thing that we know about the CM Punk character, going back to even Ring of Honor, is he is a very prideful person. He is a very, for lack of a better term, ego-centered person, which he, I think will even say is his character and also him himself a little bit. Yeah. So I want to see that come out as like, hey, I'm getting now into ring shape. Darby Allin, I think on Sunday, September 5th, I'm going to mop the floor with you. And then that's when we
so hard.
And then that's where we got to see Darby Allin's reaction before the match. How is he feeling? Because we haven't seen anything, right? Yeah. And also on top of that, what is Darby Allin's relationship with Sting going into the biggest match of his career? But what is Sting doing to help him in the in the situation, right? Is he saying, hey, I went through this with Hogan in 97 at Starrcade. You know what I mean?
So
like,
this is where we could get the like real tensions between Darby and Sting that we've said would be great to hint at, right? It's like,
yes,
he's there with him supporting, and Punk's just like, the hell, you got an old man talking for you or whatever, be like, no disrespect, you know what I mean, or whatever he does, right? And then Darby's like, no, maybe you should just leave. And he's like, excuse me, like, I'm fucking Sting, like, I'm fucking Sting, right? Like, he can muddy the waters, right?
Well, he needs to muddy the waters, I think, with CM Punk just to address the elephant in the room, which CM Punk did when he pointed it out. He's like, and I also see you, Sting, right? But I would like to see, as again, we have enough time to tell it here, is if Sting is giving Darby Allin advice saying, hey, you need to be working out with the weights 2 more times a week than you already are. And Darby Allin's like, I've never lifted in my life. I'm not going to start now. And then I know when I faced Hogan or when I faced Flair, because Flair is a free agent. Well, but what I'm saying is, like, he could say, what I did to prepare to win my biggest match was this. I think you should do it too. And Darby's saying, And now there's the tension. Because if Darby loses, which we think he will, right? We won't get into picks right now, but he has to lose. CM Punk's not going to lose his first match, is he?
I could foresee where he wants to, like, be like,
nah, not the
right,
first
the
one.
job.
Maybe down the road, but not the first one.
Hey, he lost his first UFC fight. Well, he lost both of them, but you know, look, both of those are at work. So.
You take it easy. But hey, if you follow us on our YouTube channel, you got to see my instant reaction of AEW Rampage when CM Punk debuted. So check that out if you haven't already. So I'll save my comments. But Tim, we have not heard from you as far as that initial reaction. What did you think of CM Punk debut? What did you think of the whole spectacle?
Rampage was awesome. And I have gone from going into the show at about a 65% happy that CM Punk was supposed to be coming back to, I'd say, I'm probably hovering around an 85, 90 right about now. And I think we discussed why am I like, oh, Jesus, here we go. CM Punk, right? This could be good. This could be weird. And all that is still yet to tell, right? Like, but I think he came out and he did a lot of good things. I think he addressed some of, like, maybe what turned us off before, right? Be his attitude or his kind of demeanor and whatnot. He addressed, if he went in the right headspace, man, we all know that, right? Or we should, right? Mental health issues are real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people have listened to this podcast long enough, have seen me go through ups and downs, so I totally understand what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys have seen it. All right, so, no. So, again, I thought the promo was good, right? And I think he took a few right shots at WWE without leaning into it and without making it completely about that. So I instantly, the night of, took a bit of a cynical, go figure, thought of, you know, he said, like, well, I left pro wrestling in 2005, right? And then now I'm back in pro wrestling. Well, you remember when The Miz spouted off at Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack and said, then fucking quit and go wrestle in the bingo halls like you say you fucking love. Be it or fucking stop saying you are, right? That's kind of where I felt. I was like, well, you could have gone back to ROH. You could have gone to NJPW. You could have gone to, you know what I mean, MLW. You could have been doing it. So there is a money aspect involved, right? Like the idea of like, I'm doing this because I love you and I've heard you. Pause, right? Like,
well, but he also said he's doing it for himself because he's like, I came back for you, but I also came back for me. So he did address it a little bit.
That. And of course, I mean, like, hey, look, at some point you're a star and you're like, hey, listen, I don't have to do that. And they can't meet the money that I want to do it for now. So I'm not going to hate them over that. And so I've come around a little more on that. And just seeing the response. It's not miss on me that, like, hey, even if it wasn't always my bag, like, oh, holy shit, it was the loudest pop I think I've ever heard. I've never not been able to hear the music over the white noise of the crowd until that moment. So it's not lost on me, right? Like, I always thought the chants and the idolization of him were about that he finally said what everybody wanted to say. And I thought, like, him coming back, it's like, well, okay, like, I don't see, like, that people are like, oh, finally somebody's going to say what we want to say again. So I didn't think it was, like, about CM Punk necessarily, right? But you know what I mean? Maybe it is. People seem to really, and I mean, of course, he is the embodiment of it, I guess. So we'll see where it goes. I am interested to see, like, how he and who he wrestles and what stories he tells moving forward, because I am not necessarily ever hoping to see a CM Punk AEW World Championship run, if that makes sense. I'm just not really like.
Well, from early indications, at least what he's saying out of his mouth is it's not. It's gonna be obviously we're starting off with it's starting off with Darby Allin, and then it might go to a Brian Pillman Jr. or a Penta or a Ray Phoenix.
I think we heard there's like 12 matches in the contract over like the year, like 12 matches a year. So that would make sense. Like if he builds to, You know what I mean?
No.
And stuff.
Yeah. Oh, if Punk does become champion though, like sooner rather than later, like if they shotgun it really quick, and while Hangman Adam Page is still out, and we get to see that, I just want that motherfucker coming in on a goddamn white horse to save the fucking day. That is the story for Hangman.
Yeah,
Hangman.
That too, because Punk right now is on the.
Oh, he can make anyone. No, but he can make people hate him. He can do the straight edge.
Yeah, he could turn.
You know what they could fucking do again? Because of the roster and the forbidden door being open? They could do the fucking straight edge societies. Serena Deeb was the female.
Yep.
Luke Gallows was the big bastard. And then they could do straight edge society again. Oh, that would be fucking cool, wouldn't it?
Cross paths in the back.
Oh,
and then they could get on Hangman Adam Page first drinking.
Yes!
And
that's what I'm saying.
Order,
that's the story.
Hangman.
Now, okay, what's the next tweet table?
So, that was CM Punk. All right. Let me get back up here. All right. Oh, this is a good one. This goes back to SummerSlam, which was also this weekend. And it's at Katie First Lady. She says, I haven't seen Brock this happy since #BoomboxBrock. #SummerSlam. #Tweet the table. And yeah, man, that's the happiest we've ever seen Brock. But this might be the happiest since. Yeah.
Boombox Brock was in Kansas City. That was a show at the Sprint Center. I was there. That was fun. When he interrupted Kofi and Seth Rollins.
He was so loving that moment. He was giggling like a little sweet girl.
He was having so much fun. He looks like an onion, right? Like with his hair, that looks like an onion.
If you look up, there's a show called Sister Wives on like the TLC. Look up the husband from that show on your Google images, and he looks exactly like that guy. Only, like he could.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about his haircut, right? The ponytail, whatever we're going to call it. Who's going to tell him to cut it? Are you going to tell him? I'm not.
No. We've discussed this. When you're that level of famous, you don't have anybody telling you look stupid in that shirt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you if you look stupid in a shirt, but nobody's telling Brock Lesnar he looks stupid in a shirt outside of, I don't know, a couple people have beat his ass, right? So.
Or just Vince, because like I won't fucking pay you, like. But
Vince
I just.
He probably tells him that every time. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, but the other thing that I thought was interesting is with Brock returning, you would think that maybe some merchandise would be ready. Nope. He looked like he literally came off of his farm to walk down that ramp to get in Roman's face. Yeah. There was nothing. It was just normal as Brock. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I do like the beard. I like the beard in WWE. I think he's only had a beard when he fought in UFC. As the champion, the beard is cool, but that onion head.
Somebody said, "What are the odds that AEW put that murder on the main event, and because they wanted to capitalize on the Brock SEO on the like Google searches and shit?" Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Brock Lesnar is back. Interesting.
What did you think? Yeah, what did you think?
Typically, they go prior to SummerSlam. Brock comes back. We build to SummerSlam. Brock, but this time was holy shit! Right, the Brock's here. Now what? To right? And I don't see where this goes. I still think Roman Reigns. If you're gonna build this character of Roman Reigns, he's got to beat Brock here, unless you're gonna do something really cool with Paul Heyman, which maybe you've got an idea.
Right. Obviously, you could just have Paul Heyman say, "Hey, look, Roman, this was fun while it lasted, but that's my boo over there. I'm gonna go run and give him a hug," and then we get Paul Heyman, because then you could have the ultimate thing of what Vince has been trying to do for 6 years or however long it is make Roman the top baby face, right? Like we could easily do it that way. Here's the thought that I had instantly as soon as Brock Lesnar shows up on SummerSlam is how the mighty have fallen. John Cena now is just an afterthought. He's not even, like, if this was Mortal Kombat, he's not the ultimate boss anymore. He's, like, down here, and Brock's above him. And then, if you saw, which WWE released this footage, then Brock threw John Cena around just for fun, because he was around, and he doesn't like his jorts. Like, and credit to Cena, right? It doesn't seem like he was up in arms about this move, but just from a kayfabe perspective, man, Cena's like invisibility or invincible structure, that super Cena that we call about, is just crushed.
Yeah, well, yeah, fuck him. Really,
Well, but it's interesting, right? Like, would you have thought that of Hogan in the 90s or Stone Cold in the 2000s?
I still like WWE is increasingly seeming like they're just like, fuck it, we're going all in on the boomers. Like we're for old people now. They don't care about making new stars. Now listen, if you're gonna tell me Brock Lesnar, John Cena are here full time and we're gonna make them characters and we're gonna tell storylines with them, okay, they're probably better than a lot of people you got on the roster. Fine, great.
Yeah,
but that's not what's gonna happen with either of these two guys. So now I'm just kind of like, I don't give a shit at all.
Yeah, I would say it's not going after necessarily boomers. It's just little shots, right? Instead of getting a nice big cold beer, they're giving you 2-ounce shots, mostly filled with water. And like, don't you like that? You're like, well, it's okay, but I'm going to need another one soon. And then they're like, okay, then Becky Lynch. Okay, then Goldberg. Okay, then Brock. And it's like, I would rather have a big drink than all these little shots.
I still need to hear from 50,000 fans that were in attendance. I know you get caught up in the moment when you're in a crowd, but when I'm watching on TV and that Brock Lesnar music hits, I'm like, they're bringing Brock. Okay. And then my mind starts going over. I don't get how 50,000 people are like, oh, fuck, yeah. I don't get how he gets the pop, I guess. I mean, he is Brock Lesnar, but like...
Yeah, I think he's Brock Lesnar and the anticipation of, we might be a part of a moment.
He's going to fuck somebody up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or Paul Heyman's going to give Roman a low blow.
Live, and I'm going to be like, what's Brock going to do?
Oh, this is here, right? Yeah, I can understand that. Now, one low-key thing that I loved about the Brock Lesnar moment was actually Roman Reigns. So when Roman's standing over John Cena and that music hits, he stares fucking daggers through Paul Heyman as if, what did you do?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Which is great.
And I hope, again, we record on a Thursday night, so we don't know yet what's going to happen on SmackDown tomorrow night, but I hope that's addressed. I hope there's some comment from Roman of like, do you have anything to do with this? Just something. We have to address the elephant in the room. So I love that little key. That actually got me excited with Roman instantly looking at Paul Heyman and not Brock. I thought, well, okay, what's going to happen here? And then again, nothing, right? That needs to stop too. This is twice now in a row where Legend comes back and just looks at Roman like, hit him or something.
Yeah.
You know, like John Cena does this. Brock just goes, rah. Now Roman, cowered away and walked off, but still, I need something next time. If it's The Rock that comes out, I need him to rock bottom Roman. I don't need him to just stare at each other. This isn't a cliffhanger TV show. Do something, motherfuckers. That's all.
We're going to get back into it in these hashtag tweet the tables. We are now, since this guy decided to get rid of the name, we'll pick it up. We are the voice of the voiceless. We're going to give a voice to your voice right here on the podcast. You use hashtag tweet the table on Twitter. We'll read them right here. Now, this next one is not necessarily voiceless. This might be our most famous friend of the show. At Adam_Pearson says, so
hey,
that NXT UK title match was stiff as a dick, wasn't it? Hashtag tweet the table.
And what? Yeah, check it.
Yeah.
Stiff.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing about that match. The visual of Dragunov standing over Walter after he submitted him. Yeah. Wow.
So
now
it
that's a moment.
Now the character is sunk in with Dragunov. I've seen it before, and I've been like, all right, guy's a little bit of a, you know what I mean? He's got some fucking adrenaline. He's a little nuts, right? Like, but he's a tough bastard. He's got that UK all fucking slap the skin off your chest, mentality. But now it just sinks in that like, oh, he is that. He's like the new rabid Wolverine, if you will. Like, you're not gonna stop this little guy, and he's just gonna go.
Yeah, he's not even that little.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly
he's
right.
not even that little. But
compared to Walter, everybody is.
Right, of course. Yeah, I just thought the visual of 600 days or however many days it was that Walter's been champion, for him to legitimately be stood over by the Conqueror. That's a great photo. Like, that's what NXT UK needs to have on their posters when they go back on tour in the UK, is that as their champion standing over Walter. Now, I know, like, if we're breaking kayfabe, maybe you don't want that every time you go to arena, if that's you laying on the ground, but still,
Walter's
that's
going to the main roster is, I think, what's happening.
Well, so let's break kayfabe here for a second. I don't know, because what he has been adamant about is, I'm not moving to America, which I don't blame him. But, like, I'm not moving to America.
Talk sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's so good.
He is so good. And there's so many great matches. I still think back to that one-off match he had, I think it was on Raw, against Seth Rollins, and just the fun those two had. Walter and Brock. You think Brock would take one of those fucking chops? Huh? You think Walter's going to throw it? Oh, right there is the fun. Book that.
Great match.
Yeah, but that NXT UK match, that's the second time now, right? Because they did the one in the empty arena, which was for NXT UK.
That was noted as being brutal.
Ah, my God, it was so brutal. Now this one, just as much, but now we got Dragunov as your champion. Whoop, whoop. I'm so excited. You like NXT UK too,
I do.
right?
You like
because
I like that style.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much. Yeah. Oh, it's a great style, but I haven't seen too much of the show. But
they got some good characters.
I'm excited for it.
It's kind of like, it's not two character. It's not full main roster WWE where they're going with things like fucking Karrion Kross, which maybe we'll discuss later. But it's good style. It's still got that kind of mix of like hip and cool, but still old school styles and stuff. Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, back on the SummerSlam train is at Big Josh. Well, it's Big Josh at the Rebel Trucker. Hashtag tweet the table. Rollins versus Edge. Hashtag match of the night by far. Hashtag SummerSlam. Edge, man. Pat McAfee
Here's the
said
thing.
He got like an 8-pack.
Yeah, this is the best shape he's ever been. Yeah, he knows where the weights are right now. Best shape he's ever been in his career.
You don't know where the
I will say this though. It was a great match. First off, let me say that on the front end.
Yeah,
but I'm not trying to be ADD here or ADHD, whatever they're calling it now, but I don't need 4 minutes of rest holds. Like, let's speed this shit up just a little bit. Yeah. Like, I think back to Edge's WrestleMania match with Orton, which was, look, you're telling good stories, but we can get some of the filler out of here, Yeah. I will say that throwback to the Brood, I'm walking out looking like the fucking... Instantly, I thought two things. One, this is fucking awesome. The pictures are probably going to be insane. And two, if Christian was still in WWE, he would be standing right behind Edge in this exact moment. He would not be going for the AEW championship or have the Impact championship. He would just be the filler in this storyline.
Yep. That was cool. The Brood thing. And I liked all of that. Edge and Rollins. I mean, I understood going in. I was like, these guys are going to put on a pretty fucking amazing match. And
yeah, it was great.
I mean, they delivered everything you could expect. That's for sure.
Yeah. One picked up. It was awesome. Again, first like 4 minutes or so, we could have cut that out.
Again, shout out to the chat. If you're watching us live, or if you want to catch us next week when we are live Thursday nights about 7:30 Central Time, God's favorite time zone. Theo75 right now says, I'm looking forward to Roman versus The Rock, where Roman destroys The Rock, solidifying his head of the table status. And then he says, also, how much does The Rock charge for losing in the ring? Probably a lot.
Well, yeah. Because you got to think, WWE also has some business dealings with The Rock. They're the executive producer of that TV show, so maybe it's like they'll front the bill a little bit on this TV show if he loses in our TV show. I don't know. Maybe
we'll give Nia Jax another world title run.
Something. Hey, let's do a favor, right? I don't think, though, that Roman will win. I think The Rock will be like the end-all, be-all. It's going to be once in a lifetime, and then once they like it, they're going to do it twice.
Yeah, it'll be Roman Reigns trying.
It's going to be 50-50.
Well,
it's going to be 50-50.
The better storytelling is he loses to The Rock, and then the Usos are looking at him like, what's up, homie? And then they're giving him shit, and they're like, you ain't so big and bad, right? And then that tension rolls around, and then he's like trying to get them in the check, and they're like, I don't know, man, maybe we'll just call The Rock and see what he has to say about it, man. You know what I mean? Like, you piss off, right? Eh?
Oh, look. We have so many fun storylines that you could just say. Again, if you want to be creative here, you could say the Usos just get out of line and get mad at Roman Reigns getting soft. We start turning Roman Reigns babyface, we go into a pay-per-view. It's the Usos versus Roman in a 2-on-1. Oh, wait a minute. Roman has a mystery partner. It's Roman and The Rock versus the Usos. Then you have Roman mid-match turn on The Rock. Ha ha! We just got in here to kick your ass. And then we get Roman versus The Rock at whatever it is. We can look at that. How I just booked that in seconds. It's so easy. It's so much fun. They're still going to fuck it up.
Yeah, they're still fucking it up. Speaking of fucking it up, this next tweet was confusing. It's great. I love the segues here. This was confusing, but he followed it up, so bear with us here, all right? This is from Ash Hendricks 92. Says, I can't get over how awful not O'Reilly and Adam Cole's themes are. Hashtag tweet the table. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I was like, is he saying they're not awful? Or they are awful? Or what? Like, I don't get what's going on, right? I couldn't quite get it. And then he replies and he says, don't know how autocorrect got not from Kyle, as well as me not even noticing it, but here we are. Yeah, man, ever since they got rid of $3 money, whatever the fuck that was.
CFO money sign? Yeah. Just a kick in the dick.
Everything sucks after them. They should pay them more
money. Bad.
Pay them more money and get them back.
So bad. Because that's part of the thing. Oh, yeah. Right?
Especially
it's part of the thing.
Especially in the live event.
I mean, imagine if they would have fired Jim Johnson during the Attitude Era and we changed Stone Cold's music. Like, no way.
The same thing. You know, he just took the Razor Ramon music and made it hard guitars. Go back and listen to both of those things. Yeah, so somebody could have figured it out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Like the original, goddammit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just, but they always want to go different, right? Like, look at Seth Rollins' music now. It's garbage, garbage, garbage.
All garbage.
And it's just not good.
Yeah.
Roman's is okay, but as we've talked about before, this CGI bullshit.
It seems like it's not walkout music. Nobody's getting hyped to that, right? Like, I don't. Yeah. Whatever. Let's get back into some AEW side of things with @WIRCATA again. He says, I want to see Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus AJ Lee and CM Punk. AEW Mixed Match Challenge. LOL. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. God, are we going to get that? Are we going to get April, who he referenced, right? Are we going to get AJ Lee showing up? And then, I mean, hey, listen, Adam Cole, we didn't talk about this either. So apparently he had AC written on his shoes on Rampage. Then he had BW written on his shoes on Dynamite. So alluding possibly to Adam Cole and Bray Wyatt coming. The Daniel Bryan hint during his promo.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a hint. That was just a, hey, just wait. We all know what's going on here.
That was on his feet. Like, he didn't, like he worked it in when he heard the crowd going off on yes in a hell of a way, too. Good thinking on his feet there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you think we get AJ Lee. We at least get a match. We get one match.
Oh, we'll get one match. Yeah. But it's going to be Adam Cole and Britt Baker, but it's not going to be CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
You know who the mixed match, but you know who the mixed match challenge.
It's going to be Cody and fucking Brandy, isn't it?
It's going to be Cody and Brandy. That's the mixed match AEW team. It'll be Cody and Brandy versus Britt and Adam Cole, and then it'll be Cody and Brandy versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. We're not, no.
Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Yeah, but it ain't
enough to realize that's the biggest fucking star they got is Britt Baker.
Oh, yeah, but they want to be in there with her.
Oh, God.
Because, hey, let's remember this. During the biggest episode to date, obviously there's only been 2, but their biggest rating for Rampage, we got 2/3 of Roads to the Top ads during that show. So, yeah, we're getting Brandy and Cody.
Shout out to the chat again, back on the music train. Theo wants to know, remember how awful Stone Cold's Alliance theme was?
Yeah. I didn't know you ever. Wait a minute, was that when they were singing, when it was like Disturbed or Godsmack singing it?
Like that. Yeah, it was like a Disturbed.
That wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was just, adding some words.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on the AEW side of things, this one's a little less positive. @DevilVamp, go figure, says Statlander had no pop. No one believes this feud and her winning the title. They are struggling to develop talent in the women's division. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. They may not be entirely wrong there. I don't think they're developing a whole lot of female talent. Albeit you would say Britt Baker developed there. She at least took the stage and took the ball and ran with it. And then they did build Sheeta, right? But
so I wouldn't say that the lack
At least on the
Penelope
main
Ford.
stage, you know?
Yeah.
Penelope Ford, yeah.
I will say this. I don't think that developing the talent in the women's division is the issue. Nyla Rose, another good example here. I think the whole issue is
Storytelling.
we want to cheer Britt Baker. You know what I mean? If Chris Statlander is the heel in this and Britt Baker is the babyface, we're saying this is a home run, but we're forcing everyone to boo Britt Baker, and we don't want to.
Yeah, nobody wants
That's
to do
the whole problem.
Yeah. No.
So we
But
just
CM
need
Punk
after.
couldn't even keep her name out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like what we need to do, in my opinion, is get through this, right? We'll get through the All Out, keep Britt Baker as your champion, but then let's have Hayter kind of giving her the side eye. Let's have Rebel maybe giving her the side eye. They kick her to the curb. Rebel goes with Hayter.
Hey.
And Britt Baker's left by herself, and then that's the babyface turn.
Did somebody forget to tell Hayter that this was a work? Man, she beat that girl up.
Red Velvet? Hell yeah. That's what you do. You get that chance, you assault a motherfucker.
Man. The chop. My chest still hurts from that chop she gave, that fucking backhand. Hayter.
She's a badass. I like her.
I want to see her beat up Jake Hager. That's what I want to see. Hayter versus Hayter.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, though, after you get through Statlander, turn her heel, turn Britt Baker face, then we're getting the babyface run from Britt Baker. And then with Thunder Rosa, we can reverse roles.
Is that what she said?
I don't know.
To look like a big
I would have guessed so.
Can't be controlled, and then she beats up everybody, you know, and everybody's, don't do
It's
that.
the Sid.
It's the DMD.
It's the Sid
Rebel comes in,
HBK.
tries to make the save and takes a beating for it.
No. Because she can't talk. Rebel talks for her. Rebel's going to go with Hayter, I would think. Britt Baker can cut a promo. We don't need anyone around her. Jamie Hayter got marbles in her mouth when she talks. We need Rebel to talk for her.
That's true. When you're the babyface, you don't have the manager on the outside often because they don't need to help you win or shit, right? Like,
right.
You only have one when you need to neutralize heels manager. You get like a temporary manager or ballet. Yeah.
But then what I was going to say is then you switch the roles. You do Lights Out too, but Thunder Rosa's the heel. Britt Baker's the babyface. And there we go. Now we have some fun.
I want to see Serena Deeb get in the mix and fight somebody.
Oh, I think she's still hurt though, right?
Maybe. She kind of always is.
God, she's awesome though.
She is awesome. All right. Yeah. Speaking of returns, at Katie First Lady says, not surprised Becky won. I do wish it was a bit more competitive, but if this continues going, maybe with a Bianca heel turn, I'm in. Hashtag SummerSlam, hashtag tweet the table. And I don't know, man. All of this was bad. I thought all
Breaking kayfabe. Breaking kayfabe. The only thing I could honestly think of is we got put in a pickle with Sasha Banks not being able to perform.
COVID.
Becky Lynch is not in in-ring shape, right?
Yeah.
Becky Lynch, though, is not in in-ring shape. She can't do a 10-minute match. So instead of doing a 4 to 5 minute shit the bed kind of thing, we do an instant shock and then, hey, we'll tell the story at the next pay-per-view. Give her a month.
Training and stuff online. But yeah, I mean, she may not be ring ready. Maybe she wasn't like ready for a ring return. But this did scream like when it was Brock and Becky in the same show and it seemed like they were quick thrown together. They didn't have a whole lot of storyline depth built into them. It was like, did you guys literally just do this? Did Vince McMahon goes, oh, they had CM Punk return? I'll give him 2 returns. That's better than 1. It's like, no, nothing matched a 7-year return of like such hanging, like nothing ever existed like this before ever in the history of the pro wrestling industry to like the way it like manufactured itself with CM Punk. But like, this just felt like they were like, we could do that and better. And it was like, nah, you kind of came up short.
Now, Katie said this tweet. Is that correct? It was Katie. Katie mentioned, hey, she might see a Bianca Belair heel turn. I think we're going to see a Becky Lynch heel turn.
That's what they said. I saw online that like that's the idea.
Oh, really?
To make her the main heel on SmackDown going forward. And this is another instance like you're talking about with DMD. We don't want to boo the man.
But we kind of were there at the end. Remember when it was Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and we kind of were like, "Let's go, Shayna."
So now,
I think maybe they saw that. Maybe.
I want to talk about. I don't know if you saw this video out of somebody asked Nikki Bella about this match, and she was like, I don't know why they
she
asked
watches
Nikki Bella about this. And then, so she was visibly upset. Like, she was like, well, she was like, I always, well, they asked her, like, what do you think about SummerSlam, right? And so she instantly was like, well, I'm a woman, so I had to go into the women, and, which it was fine. It was like, here's why I single out this match. And she said, like, it was just a weird move to, like, take it off such an incredible talent like Bianca who's worked so hard. And this is where I think we've hit this before. It's like, hey, she's worked very hard, but she's not there yet. She's not an incredible talent. It's not hard to believe what she does in the ring. That's incredible. Like, when I see somebody go up and do a 720, over their ball sack puncher drive, I'm like, that's pretty incredible, because I don't know how you do that. She's done stuff that I've seen every gymnastic do, in the Olympics.
Gymnast, yeah.
Like, it's not... It's not incredible talent we have here. She's not like the next big thing. They tried to put her out there. She has great athleticism. But that is kind of it. She's above average, maybe, with the character and mic work. So I'm surprised she held on to it this long, if you ask me. Like, in WWE's eyes, they typically would have been like, this ain't fucking working. Next. And it kind of looks like where they went.
Well, and another person I felt bad for in this storyline was Carmella. We're just literally just treating her like
a punch to the
stomach.
Like, or it was the face.
That was
right?
all it took.
Punch to the face and
but
throw
still.
you over the ring, and you just like, oh, I guess I can't get my match now. This is what I talk about, like the easy storytelling that they go, like, dude, did everybody in the crowd just forget Carmella was there 2 seconds later?
Yeah. Why didn't she get up and punch Becky after she recovered?
Or was she laying there the whole fucking time like she was knocked out, like Becky Lynch has a Superman punch? Like,
yeah.
It was all wrong. It was all done wrong.
And that's the other thing. And again, another easy thing you could have done, in my opinion, again, if you give me the booking sheet here, is you make it a triple threat match. Becky beats Carmella. Bianca gets pissed because she never lost the title. It's the uncrowned champ versus the new champ. And now Bianca looks strong. Becky's the champ. And Carmella is Carmella. But, like, at least she got some in-ring action and a match instead of just a punch to the face and a how's your mother and get the fuck out. Like, how is that hard? How is that hard to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
How's that hard?
It was weird. I didn't like any of it.
It was bad. It wasn't weird. It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, it wasn't bad. We already talked about it once. We might as well talk it again with the. Oh well, wait a minute. Where'd I go? Where did we go? Yep, here we go. There it is. Sorry. Big Josh at the Rebel Trucker says hashtag tweet the table. What a match! Never thought I'd see Walter tap hashtag NXT Takeover.
Yeah, that's the other point that I was trying to make. There is, Dragunov was standing over him. But, like, he made him submit. Yeah, It wasn't like, oh, you caught me with a good punch.
Walter's
next time I'll get
you.
you.
More of this.
He chose to submit.
I can't take any more of Ilya Dragunov molesting me. I got to give up. That's why
I always think in a fight, I always prefer, if I can, to, like, have someone choose to quit, because they then have to live with that decision. Because if I knock you out, you could be like, oh man, if I wasn't distracted by this, or lucky punch. Ugh. But if I say, like, I made you submit to my will,
well, there is something to that.
You got to live with that forever.
And you've talked about how, like, people love to talk about, like, oh, in a sparring, I dropped a guy's, because you can land a punch in the right spot at the wrong thing, and that didn't mean you were stronger, better, faster. You literally
now if you consistently do it, right? Yeah, if you consistently do it,
but actually consistently do it, but like the one time, the two times, whatever, like, so, like, yeah, I mean, that is the thing that could be true, but, like, if I made you be like, please stop, like, every time you see me from now on, you're like, fuck.
Yep. Fuck. That's exactly right. Yeah. When you forfeit, when you forfeit to someone else, that lives with you. Whoo, it lives with you.
Yeah. All right. At Theo75 says, why does WWE keep Jerry Lawler employed and on commentary? He is awful on the mic and keeps wearing those douchey Ed Hardy bootleg shirts. He should have been let go in the last round of WWE layoffs. Hashtag tweet the table. Hashtag Cornette face. Hashtag SummerSlam. Look, he's only in Memphis, but I don't know if they're, like, really trying to get the Memphis market. So I don't know why. Again, WWE is for boomers. Like, I guess is what they're after. Maybe
yeah, because if you're if you're getting rid of Tom Phillips, but you're keeping Jerry Lawler, that makes zero sense.
Josh Matthews might even be better than Jerry Lawler in fucking 20.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're getting crazy here.
Yeah, that's a toss up.
But Tom Phillips is way better than Jerry Lawler. He could serve that role. And what do we need? More legends to talk? What do I need to hear? Another?
Tom Phillips and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Right. Have that competition.
I mean, that's probably a good race. That's probably a good horse race right there. They probably both. All right.
But like, do I need to hear another bad take from a legend? We already have Booker T spewing all of those. Like, I don't need any more legends saying bullshit half out their ass. And then Peter Rosenberg, I don't need to have his dumbass saying anything either. Like, I don't know what the pre-show when it started was a great idea. It has been such an afterthought. It's so bad.
It's as cliche as every sports pregame show that you know now. They always go, two people disagree. You know what I mean? They cover every possible scenario, and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, if he passes the ball well, then they'll score touchdowns and they'll win. But if he doesn't, then he won't. That's why we're going to watch what the fuck happens, whether he does or he does not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all they say on those fucking pre-shows. So,
But then on WWE, you have Booker T just saying the absolute dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, he's in my
he has the worst takes in oral history of anything. Like, he is so bad. He has such bad opinions on the way he views the world. It's insulting. Like, why is he given a microphone? He is so bad at everything he says. So bad. I don't care about his perspective either. Like, I get it, right? He did this, I didn't. But what he says is so fucking dumb. It makes me angry that I heard it. Like, he is horrible.
Yeah,
he is horrible.
My favorite to check in with and see what old Booker T thought about the shows.
And then you got a racist in JBL. Like, I don't want to hear from his ass either.
Yeah,
what's he going to tell me to do? Invest my money into fucking
JBL
Bitcoin?
Is the epitome of the guy who has one black friend.
Yes! He is that guy. Oh, I'm not racist. I got
Ron Simmons, my best friend of all time.
I got Ron.
Okay.
Ron was in my wedding. All right, yeah, okay.
You got one. I forget who I heard say that. It was like, but somehow having one black friend is more racist than having no black friend.
It's that one friend.
Yeah, that feels like a choice now. All right, last one we've got here for hashtag tweet the table. You can play along. We are now the voice of the voiceless since CM Punk no longer is by himself. We didn't take it from him. Oh, what?
Oh, let's go to really quick the comments here. Theo, I totally forgot about this fucking dumb shit thing that Booker T does. The rubber ducky shuck thing. What is that? You're taking a bath with minors, you fucking weirdo? Like, you're such a bad person with words. God! And I'm not even that good, but you're way worse than me, man. You are fucking horrible with thought process and reason and understanding.
Right now?
Right here, right now.
All right, so hashtag tweet the table. You play along. We're going to read your tweets, your thoughts on wrestling as you go throughout the week. When you're watching the shows, if you're watching back this podcast, when you're thinking back, like, God damn, Tom's right about Booker T, use hashtag tweet the table. Let us know. We'll read them right here. And this is the final one this week. At Devil Vam says, again, great content and wrestling on hashtag AEW Dynamite. Exclamation point. Varsity Blonde still improving. Couple of missteps. Love everything so far, but the damn production. Camera angles. Switching to commercials. Music playing over crowd noise for the first match. What are we doing? Hashtag tweet the table. Yeah, what was that when Excalibur was like, all right, stay here for picture-in-picture, and then we just had silence for like a minute and a half.
They didn't have it correct. They didn't have it mapped out correctly.
We've said this. They like the Punks, the Bryans, the Bray Wyatts, the Adam Coles, when they're coming up, the Malachi Blacks, all that's going great, but like, where's the senior key grip? Where's the, you know what I mean? Now, I don't know if you saw this. Or whatever the fuck their names are, man. God.
Now, I don't know if you saw this, but they released a different video of CM Punk's debut with just audio from the truck, right? And here's the thing. being an executive producer is very hard. Friday night, I'm going to be at Invicta. I'm going to have a headset on. I'm going to hear Corey Smith, my executive producer, give me all the cues that I need to have to get fighters ready and moving and position and all that. And he is amazing. But with that being said, you don't stop. There's never a, hey, kind of a little hungry. I think I might go get a snack. There's no break. Yeah. Like once the show starts, you're fucking in it, right? So it's a very hard and taxing job. But as we've said millions of times on this podcast, like it doesn't matter how good of a person you are. If you can't do the job, you need to step aside. And we gave them a leash, in my opinion. This is for me talking, maybe not for you, but like I gave them a leash for 2 years of like, hey, you're still learning. I get it. We're still doing some things. And I even was trying to be a little bit more forgiving because, hey, now we're getting back on the road after 18 months, a little bit more difficult. Now you're in a different environment, not just Jacksonville all the time. But yes, to Devil Vamp's point here, you gotta tighten that stuff up. It can't keep happening. It's okay if it happens once a quarter. It's okay if it happens, 3 times a year. But when I can say it happened 6 times this month, that's when we need to, again, we don't need any more hires in front of the camera. It needs to all be behind the camera.
So that was hashtag Tweet the Table, where you tell us what to talk about. We are the voice of the voiceless here at the Spanish Announce Table, so we did that. Now we get a gas bag, Tom. We get a gas bag. We had Rampage. We had Dynamite. By the way, we are recording Thursday night, which we typically do. So Rampage is tomorrow, but the first Rampage happened.
Second Rampage.
Oh, that's right. It was the second Rampage, right? With the Punk. Yeah, Punk was the second Rampage. Tomorrow night will be the third, right?
Yes.
And then we had SummerSlam. We had NXT. We've had Dynamite. We've talked about a lot of these things so far, so we don't necessarily need to go in chronological order of these shows, but let's hit anything else we didn't discuss. What happened on that Rampage, by the way, too? What else happened after Punk? I forget. Let me roll through it.
So Rampage was fun because one of my favorite things in AEW is just watching Eddie Kingston act as if he's an 11-year-old kid behind the big bad bully with Jon Moxley making his way to the ring. We had Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia, which was a really fun match. And then that was the main event.
Jurassic Express.
Yeah, and Jurassic Express advanced in the tournament. They will face on Dynamite the winner of the match between Lucha Bros and Varsity Blondes, which was the Lucha Bros. So now on Rampage tomorrow night, we get Jurassic Express versus Lucha Bros. Let's do a quick who you got? Who you got in that matchup to face the Young Bucks?
I think the correct answer is Lucha Bros, but I think they are going to put those. I think they're going to give it to Jurassic Express, and I think they'll win because I think they're like, we got to give Jungle Boy something, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes. I think twofold. I think one, yes, we need to capitalize on Jungle Boy has the most matches here. He's beating his body up. Let's give him at least a title. But then I also think of, hey, this Luchasaurus pop, every time he gets the hot tag, is getting louder and louder when we've gone on the road. So let's capitalize on that as well. Let's get that tail whip, all of that stuff.
Let me put in my nickel's worth of free advice here to the Lucha Express, though. Stop trying this suplex off the back of Lucha.
Jurassic Express.
Excuse me. Jurassic Express. Don't fucking do that anymore. They've twice tried it and twice almost fucking killed each other. Let's not do it.
Yeah. I will say, though, Friday night with the finals of this mini tournament, Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a knockdown dragon fight. Yeah, we'll do our all-out picks when the time comes. Not this week, but I think probably next week. It has to be Jurassic Express. You know why? You know why. I just figured it out. Dawned on me. Ah, what a goof, as Arn Anderson said one time in an iconic promo. It's going to be Jurassic Express because Andrade is going to beat Pac. Lucha Bros are going to lose to Jurassic Express. Andrade is going to say, don't you hate being a loser with Pac? Come see me. There it is.
And then they'll be the number one contenders.
Yep.
Right to start.
Yep.
We had Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston taking on the Wingmen on Dynamite. The Wingmen. God.
This is my hot take for AEW's current structure of television. The HFO is fine. It's good. Whatever. I understand. I like all the talent. I like Butcher and the Blade, although I think Butcher is hurt right now. Private Party is still very fun. Bunny is what she is, and I like her. But let's replace Matt Hardy and the HFO with the Wingmen. Anytime we think we need to have HFO on Dynamite, they get replaced with JD Drake or Pretty Peter Avalon or Ryan Nemeth or Cesar Bononi. Like, those guys are so entertaining. We haven't even seen the sensual sled on Dynamite yet.
Yeah.
It's so great.
You know what we did see? We saw the Gun Club versus the Factory, and god damn it, Tom, we forgot to get PT fucking Marshall on again. We promised him this week.
How did we forget?
Cutie, we're assholes. I don't know if we told you this, Cutie.
It was a busy week, man. We met Eddie Kingston. Yeah, but we met Eddie Kingston. I met we both met Warhorse. I met Britt Baker. Look at this. I mean, come on. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I will say this though about that match. I don't know if you paid attention to the records there, but how in the flying fuck is the Gun Club 12-0 in trios competition?
Yeah, there's been 12 trios matches.
Well, I understand that on Dark and Elevation, like that's fine, but you never
trios matches on Dark.
But like,
has there only been 12 episodes of Dark? Like, what the fuck are we?
No. But like, you never lost to the Dark Order. You never lost to Death Triangle. You never lost to John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin. Like,
yeah.
How are you guys undefeated?
I'm balking at the idea that there was 12 trios matches, let alone you won all of them.
And then who's the tall one? The tall brother. That guy, right? Tall, skinny guy.
Austin, right?
Right. He's the other one. Colton. It's Colton, I think.
Colton Gunn.
Go look up his record on AEW if you get a second. You'll be shocked at what his record is. I know it because it burned an image in my head that made me damn near drop my jaw to the ground. It was astronomically stupid.
What are they?
I'll just tell you.
EliteWrestling.com?
Yeah, I'll just 24-0. He's 24-0.
See, I'm upset. We've seen Dark. We've seen Elevation. Are they counting house show matches that we're not seeing? Because he's had 12 trios matches and 24 singles matches.
Well, no, I think the 12 is in the 24.
Okay, but he's also had 12 singles matches, and he's won them all.
Oh, but remember, during the pandemic, they were doing 3-hour darks. So, yeah, totally. It's not shocking the amount of matches he's had. It's that he's never lost. He's never lost. Ryan Nemeth.
Is he not?
Yeah, why is he not the number one?
Challenging for titles. I've seen Darby Allin losing shit, right? I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
But, like, JD Drake doesn't beat him. I mean, are we serious? Come on.
Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. The coolest move is, so Matt Hardy does I'm going to put my hands in my pocket, and he pulls out like 20 hundreds, and he gets super kicked for his troubles or whatever. The money goes flying. Orange Cassidy picks up a single 100 and slides that into his pocket and then fucking goes back to work. That was cool. He's like, I don't need all this shit.
I don't need all of it. I just need this one here. I'm good to go.
Right. Give that to the fucking Uber.
What do you do next with Orange Cassidy, though? What's next?
See, that's
do you bump him?
Do
you bump him up against CM Punk?
I don't know that you do. Well, yeah, I think you could get that match, right? You'll get Punk and Cassidy, but again, the story of Cassidy is going to wane thin here, right? Like,
no, because he never cares. It doesn't matter to him, and that's why it doesn't matter to us because we just like him. He's not a competitor, right? If he was like
Santino,
yeah, exactly. If he was out here like, I need to get this win. Okay, then you lose what the fuck's going on. But like, if you're just like,
they pay me, I'm here.
Right.
I'm gonna go hang out later with some people.
Yeah, I think I'm on TV tonight. Check it out. I don't know. Like, yeah, that's why it'll never get old. At least not yet.
So Jericho, stole Christian's idea. He's asking for one last match, and this might be it, huh?
Yeah, and this is why I think that. Couple reasons. One, AEW's follows through a lot so far. When they make a stipulation, they keep hold on it. Thinking of Cody has yet to challenge for the world championship since he lost to Jericho, right? So when they make stipulations, they typically follow through on it. Two, I don't have it here. It's in my bedroom, but I have the Jericho book, which is his career, right? It would be weird to like write 30 years of Jericho and, hey, I'm going to wrestle 6 more years, right? That's kind of weird. So there's his whole history there. And then 3, Rampage needs someone because Mark Henry ain't doing it. So,
yeah. Well, and MJF has not been defeated in a singles match in AEW. So that would be weird to waste that.
Oh, no, he has once. Remember, he lost to John Moxley for the World Championship, and then the next night, that's when he's like, I need to join a group to get over, and that's what started the whole Inner Circle stuff. Because John Moxley couldn't do the paradigm shift, and when the ref wasn't looking, he did the paradigm shift, which should have been what fucking Jericho did when the ref wasn't looking and hit the fucking Judas effect.
I thought he was still rocking no loss, but it was Moxley.
No, he lost that. Yeah, he lost to Moxley.
Yeah, well, fuck it. Yeah, I think this has got to be it, though. This would feel weird to go through all that just to have him beat MJF.
Yeah, to have him, to go through the 5 labors, to lose the 5 labors, and
all
then just be like...
being a thing would be meaningless then. Which, is it still a thing? With the Wheeler out. By the way, it looks like they might have to do a one last match themselves.
What? I mean, what a freak injury.
Yeah.
I will say this, though.
But he's going to get the Paul Orndorff, it sounds like. He's saying like he's losing grip and feeling. And
oh, what a freak. Man, don't you?
They were on fire. They were doing great.
That rivalry was, too, with Santana and Ortiz. That's a gut punch. I sure hope this.
The ring hook. I can't believe we've never seen anything like that happen before.
In the million years that wrestling's been on television, that's never happened, at least what we've seen. I hope not. I hope with modern medicine we can figure something out. God, what a gut punch. I sure hope that's not it. They're doing one more match this Wednesday on Dynamite.
That's what I think. I'm kind of wondering, like, are they like,
oh, we'll see what happens.
In case it has to be.
Oh, man. Oh, that just breaks my heart. That sucks.
Yep.
That sucks if that is like truly the end of it.
SummerSlam RK Bro Tag Team Champs.
Oh, hey, Tim. Didn't know if you heard, but we love zany tag teams.
Oh, yeah, the Odd Couple?
The Odd Couple?
I can't think of any better television. Why would you write any better story other than that in the tag team division?
Hey, and then, it's doing so well with the men. Let's go do it with the women and have Rhea Ripley and almost a superhero Nikki, almost a superhero.
No.
Fucking their tag team.
God damn it. Okay, so the story is Alexa Bliss is trying to take down the almost superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets all weird and fiendy, and she fucks up Nikki Cross, and she becomes Nikki ASK, almost serial killer. And then she gets all crazy again, and then we're done with the superhero nonsense. Nikki ASK.
You know what I would do? I would draft one of those two, because they both suck gimmicks, right?
Yeah.
They're shit. Draft one of them to SmackDown, and have them come back as how they used to be, right? And when they say, like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, what happened to the superhero, or what happened to the scary stuff? Just have them easily say, like, oh, I just had a case of the Mondays, and then just go right back to fucking doing whatever they're doing.
Yep.
Because
they eat a Snickers and they fucking
I was hungry.
They go, oh, yeah. Product placement. Speaking of Alexa Bliss, Eva Marie, and I guess Doudrop's gonna not be a thing now, but she's gonna keep the name Doudrop.
Well, she likes it. That's what she said on Raw. I like it.
Terrible.
And now we're going to get Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, because that's what we've always wanted, was Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, with Alexa Bliss being the spooky girl and Charlotte being the queen heel 76-time champ.
The Alexa Bliss thing is a step down from the fake Diesel and Razor Ramon, but it's pretty goddamn close now.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like, this is why you guys can't, like, this is why the artist matters. Like, you know what I mean? The drive and the passion to play the character matters. And, like, you can't just be like, oh, that's a great character. You play it. Because you're going to get this, you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, she's probably pulling it off better than any other girl would.
Yeah, it's fine. And standalone, if we never saw the Bray Wyatt character or the Fiend character, I think this would be awesome. But we did, and so you let the genie out of the bottle, and so we can't.
Abaddon, so
Yeah. Oh, Abaddon. God, I miss her. We need her more off. Oh, spewing blood. Oh, she's fucking hot. Right?
I love it.
Yeah. Woo.
Love
Man.
Is it the blood part? Is that what's
I don't know, but my nipples get hard, and then I also start thinking weird things. I'm scared and horny. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, man, I'm sending this as a TikTok to Abaddon. All right.
Trust me, I've talked to my therapist about this so many times. I don't get it.
You show them the video, you're like, look at it.
Yeah, I'm like Chuck, what is going on here? And he's like, yeah, that's his name. I was like, Chuck, what goes on here? And he's like, I don't see why you're struggling with this. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I'm not. It makes me feel uncomfortable to like this.
Yeah. I want to push her and hug her at the same time. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I love her.
I don't want to meet her in a dark alley, but I want to turn out the lights. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anybody still in the chat?
Yeah, they're all there. They're all there.
He says,
Oh,
Theo
God.
says, too bad Jeff Hardy is jobbing at WWE. He can be on AEW so we can see the return of Willow. Please don't.
Don't, Keezy.
Speaking of
He
don't.
got his song, you know.
Speaking
there.
of don't, we had a United States Championship match. Damian Priest and Sheamus, and albeit, okay, yeah, Damian Priest with the U.S. title. Yeah, fine.
But I thought it's weird because double champs are very rare in WWE. I think the last one was Seth Rollins when he was United States champ and then heavyweight champion, right?
Right.
But it felt so fresh and new when Bobby Lashley and Damian Priest were staring each other down as if it was like, we want to lock horns. But well, Damian Priest isn't going to come out on top because he's the United States champ. If you would have found some way to have Sheamus retain, but still make Damian Priest look strong, and then the next night he's going head-to-head with Bobby Lashley, I
might believe he's got a shot.
Yeah, but yeah, I just...
Yeah. Usos retain the titles over the Mysterios.
Okay, who's going heel here? Is it Dominic or is it Ray?
It's Dominic.
You think?
It should be Ray.
It should be Ray. It should be
Ray. If you would
overprotective
hire
dad.
Tom, it
Yes.
would be Ray.
Yes, it's overprotective dad. Hey, you're not doing it the right way.
Or it's jealous dad. Maybe he starts getting a little fired.
Yes.
A little like, hey, look at the fucking truck. It's my goddamn picture on the truck.
I mean, both would be great. Both would be great. But one of them's turning heel, but I think I agree with you.
Start with overprotective dad. Right? And then he's
they need to fight each other. They need to fight each other.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We talked about Becky, fucking Drew and Jinder. Jinder did not get cut in half, or one of his minions.
Oh, I know. What a dumb mistake that was. God, that was so funny.
He got stabbed with a sword.
Then what the fuck was it for?
I don't know.
Dumb.
Threat, women's title. We kind of discussed that, right? Like fucking Flair. Yeah. Yeah.
What do we...
Edge, Seth Rollins. We hit that, and then Goldberg, Lashley. I like how MVP's like, hey man, somebody jump in the ring and beat his ass. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't know it's Goldberg's son.
Yeah, look at how many videos we have of Earl Hebner face kicking people as hard as he can because he doesn't know who the hell jumped in.
Like you a list, motherfucker.
Yeah. I was telling you this, I think, on the drive up to St. Louis is, if MVP identified the son and was like, hey, we beat up Goldberg, now let's just rub it in and kick his ass too. Okay, I can boo that. But when overzealous dumb shit son just jumps in the ring, I don't give a fuck.
Did you see the tweet that said, like, Bobby Lashley did the right thing? Goldberg's kid had it coming ever since he did this, and it showed when he was doing the dab on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, he had it coming since that moment.
Yeah. Credit to Lashley.
Mm-hmm. And then Cena loses, and Brock and Roman, we kind of hit that too.
Yeah.
NXT also happened.
So what? Okay, give me your thoughts. Let's talk about it. Adam Cole lost. Kyle O'Reilly won.
Mm-hmm.
Is Adam Cole, in your opinion, if you had to place a bet, $20 you never want to see again, Where's Adam Cole going?
I think he's going to AEW. I mean, I could see him on the WWE main roster, but like, I just feel like, I mean, we've seen hints from DMD on our Twitter. Punk is wearing AC on. I don't know who else AC could be. Now, Punk could be trolling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I thought.
You know, and the hints could just be misconstrued from DMD.
Or it could just be like, haha, this is what they'll think. I don't give a shit.
Or she's playing along, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of don't know. Adam Cole's one where I worry that, like, okay, he's coming to the main roster, but you're going to make him fucking lose to The Miz and Morrison, which, you know, of course they broke up, but
yeah.
Like, it's not going to go well for Adam Cole, so I don't know why he would make that decision unless it's a fuck ton of money. But it sounds like nowadays a fuck ton of money is available elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think, I for whatever reason, I've never met Adam Cole. I don't know Adam Cole, you know, like I know other wrestlers, indie wrestlers in the area,
Adam
stuff
Cole's
like
not
that.
had
You
the
know,
opportunity to meet you yet.
Right, exactly. But for whatever reason, I just have this feeling that he feels that he needs to like complete this task. He needs to have a match at WrestleMania, because I believe he has not done that. And I think being a, you know, child fan of the WWE, that is a goal of his. And I think he like, it's so close. Why would then I now just run away from that? Like, give me all the money, and I just want to get that WrestleMania match. I think that is, and again, I have no reason to think that. That's my gut.
I also think we see on the main rosters, they are going now with like, you need to be a full-on character. You need to be a like comic book style character with accessories that we can utilize.
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, and I don't know that Adam Cole is that. They don't know how to write Adam Cole. They don't know how to market Adam Cole on the main roster.
They know how to do that. It's just that The Miz has to step aside. Adam Cole could be The Miz in a heartbeat.
But do you see what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
But even that, The Miz, like, yeah, his second world title run here existed, but it's not like they were like, Miz is the guy, right? He was a stopgap and storyteller there. So like, I just don't. I don't know. We'll see. I also am not like wishing for a whole bunch of other people to show up on AEW. Like, we're getting full over there. So,
and my gut feeling on Bray Wyatt, as far as free agents, you know, going places, I don't think he goes to AEW. I think he goes to Impact, because I think he says I can then do legitimately whatever the fuck I want.
I just don't like. Look, I don't know the numbers on some of these contracts, but Impact can't pay the money these other places can they?
Well, but with this
scene.
Well, maybe that's when he thinks I can bring the eyeballs, right? I don't know him again personally, but what I'm thinking is it's a reduced schedule. He has how many kids now? Because he has 2 now with JoJo, and he had I think 3 before that. So it's a reduced schedule. I'm a big fish in a little pond, and that forbidden door is always open. So if I do want to do the all-out match against CM Punk, let me over there. Tony Khan will let me in, and then I can go back to doing my fun schedule.
I've got time to be watching another fucking series of programming to keep up on the Bray Wyatt storyline, you know?
Yeah, but you know, there's Wrestle Talk. There's your 5-minute recaps. You can keep up that way. And you don't have to watch Raw and SmackDown. So there's 6 hours of your day, or 5 hours a day, you know?
And they righted the ship and got Cameron Grimes one over on LA Knight. Wins the $1 Million Championship, which then turns out to be a replica, and Ted DiBiase laughs his way out. And see.
Yeah, but then there goes that. So I felt like you didn't even let Cameron Grimes just have fun for a week.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to originally, he was like, goddamn Ted DiBiase.
That's true. Yeah, because that's how we all started with this. I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
You should never trusted fucking Ted, man.
Yeah.
Trust the $1 Million Man. He could have like sold him the belt back, right? Like, and then been like, it's a fucking replica, and they've been laughing on his way out, right? Yeah. All right. Let's see what else. Kel Gonzalez. Kind of surprised by this, retaining the women's championship. They seem to be high on her, and I don't get it.
I don't care. Here's the other person, now that we're going through all this stuff, because, well, I guess let's talk about the main event. Samoa Joe, Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe becomes your first three-time NXT champion. Now, if you watch the interview Ariel Helwani did on BT Sport, I think, their YouTube channel, he interviews Nick Khan. And Nick Khan outright says, in a couple weeks, led by Triple H, NXT is getting a whole new reformatted show.
Whole rebranding, yeah.
So if that's the case, rebranding to me doesn't scream Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
2005 wrestler
Right.
Samoa Joe. You know what I mean? So, like, what are they doing?
I don't know. And then the Karrion Kross thing.
He looked like a wet dream of the tag team Demolition. Didn't he?
Look, this idea of that, right? This Mad Max style Demolition, Ascension. Demolition is the only time it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And you had pretty solid fucking talents, you know what I mean? Like, that had been around for a long time fucking doing it all, like this.
And a different time.
In a different
time.
time.
The 80s are different than right now.
Yeah, I just, like, it was clear that they were like, Karrion Kross, we got to find something that we can fucking sell to represent Karrion Kross. And so they tried that fucking hourglass, right? And they tried that. They really did. And then somebody was like, that ain't fucking working. Go to my closet, get my gear, and bring it out here. And put it on this guy. And his body language spoke of him being like, this fucking sucks. He doesn't want to do it.
Did you see also on top of that, after the NXT takeover, the crowd just said bye and started chanting Jeff Hardy at him. And he was like, really?
Well,
really? This is how I'm going to end here?
So, like, that was a murder of his character going on to the main roster, right? Like, they shouldn't have done that. And then, like, when you realize, like, oh, man, that was kind of fucked up. Like, then you also are like, let's also take away your entrance, take away your valet, and change your gear into something stupid. Like, did he fucking say something wrong? Like, did he park in the wrong parking
Did he try
space?
to kiss Stephanie or something? And
did he take the last pancake in fucking catering?
Yeah, I don't know, but they hate him, it seems like. But this is the thing. Since the last great NXT call-up that I can think of was Finn, right? Finn comes up, he beats Roman Reigns, then he beats Seth Rollins, he's the champ. He separated his shoulder, go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
Since then, they have all said to NXT.
Even that with the Finn Balor, at least that one was just because they got out of the way, right? Finn Balor, again, same thing. Like, whatever was working with Karrion Kross was working, right? Like, it wasn't our cup of tea even, I don't think. We liked the entrance, but, like, it was working.
Mm-hmm.
And you just changed all of it. Like, what did you think was going to happen that you were like, I'll make it better?
I don't know. It's old men who I feel have checked out and have just said, we're selling everything. Let's sell everything. If we can't sell our, we sold our network to Peacock. We're selling our merchandise to Major League Baseball or whatever that deal was. We're selling, everything we can. And now let's sell what's on these motherfuckers. Sell that hat, sell those tassels, just sell everything. We don't care. Just sell it.
Yeah. We've discussed that,
and it's just,
but they've gone full carny with it at this point, right? Like,
I think they've just gone full bloated king. They're just the fat king making bad decisions because no one's been even trying to come at their throne.
No one told them they look stupid in that shirt.
Yeah, while little nerdy Tony Khan over here is like, I'm going to come up there and I'm going to get you. My dad's rich. He's richer than you. And then, like, there he goes. That's a good Tony Khan impression.
Well, I hate that we hit that as like the last topic we had because this was a fun, exciting week of wrestling.
Well, hey, let's hit it on this one though. Right. Okay, let's leave it up on a good note here. We got Rampage tomorrow. We got Tay Conti versus the Bunny. We got Lucha Bros versus Jurassic Express. We got in tag team action Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler taking on Christian Cage and the Elite Dork Kazarian. Dude, what are you looking forward to with Rampage?
Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler tag teaming up. They are going to do some of the best shit we've seen on TV, and I can't remember how long. They're going to do some zany shit.
Oh, it's going to be great. Brandon Cutler
Especially
is just
Christian
playing this role the best.
And remember, we've been told from all accounts, like Christian is the fucking Pat Patterson of this time frame of like working out a match and explaining why. And then you get these like comedic, you know what I mean, dudes in here. And Kazarian's no slouch on the comedy himself. We might see some, some good shit in this match.
And then Don Callis, is going to be out there looking like Pepto-Bismol again.
We'll have Nakazawa out there, maybe.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
The whole crew. Look. The whole crew together is better than the individual of their parts. So I'm going to give them that, right? When they all roll out as the fucking Rubber Band Bullet Club group, you know what I mean? All 20 of them are out there. You got Don Callis, you've got the Young Bucks, you've got the good, all of them acting like dorks is better than like when I've got to see any individual one of them, right? Or two of them.
There's only 4 of them that I don't like, and they're the 2 tag teams. If you got rid of the 2 tag teams, it'd be fine with me. Everything else is great. I just do not like those 2 tag teams. Yeah, they're and specifically, I don't like Carl Anderson and Matt Jackson. If I had to like even boil it down more, and then if I had to boil it down even more, I just don't like Matt Jackson.
Yeah, fuck that.
He's so arrogant for never doing anything. What the fuck, man? God, you're so weird. Anyhow, Tay Conti, though, gets back on TV. Man, she's awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I like that, her character.
I'm excited where wrestling's at. This Punk thing is obviously got the whole world, like, it's bringing people back, right? They're drawing huge numbers. They sold out the Chicago Bulls Arena without ever billing the guy's name. You know what I mean? At 10 p.m. on a Friday night. And then got 1 million plus people to watch it on TV. So they're doing something right, and the future's looking up. We're gonna get Daniel Bryan over there. It sounds like it. We might get Adam Cole and Bray Wyatt. WWE's changing. They seem to be moving into a new era on the main rosters and changing NXT up. Who the fuck knows, man? We've got
and what I'll say that I didn't say on the instant reaction with CM Punk is now that we've done 2 segments with him, because now he's been in Milwaukee, I think it's whether you like him or you don't, the energy around just his appearance and it's
humongous.
Yeah, just the energy. Again, you got people that are like, fuck this. He was never good. He's not a needle mover. And then you got people who are crying and saying like, this is the person in wrestling that I've always looked forward to seeing. But like, he's like the new Cena. When Cena was at his height and you were going, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. That is now CM Punk right now, where it's mainly positive, but even the negative is like, just, I got to see it. What's next? Yeah. And so I love it. I love it.
We haven't seen something like this maybe ever. So it'd be interesting. But since he is no longer the voice of the voiceless, I want to remind you that we are the voice of the voiceless here at the Spanish Announce Table. And we urge you to use your voice, and we will broadcast it out to the world here using hashtag #TweetTheTable on Twitter, and we'll read them right here. But until next time, we got to go. We got some shit to get done, and Tom's going to go look at that picture for a while.
The Spanish Announce Table.